Welcome back in, everybody, to Sid Meier's Civilization 7. My name, of course, is VanBradley, and in this video, I'm going to be your guide through Civ 7's Exploration Age. The world of Civilization 7 is now expanding. We have distant lands over here to explore. We have new civs to meet. We have new resources and new mechanics to take a look at. So what I want to do in this video is make sure you leave feeling really comfortable with the Exploration Age. There are a lot of Civilization players out there that do not finish a game of Civ. They get to this part, the age transition, and it just gets a little overwhelming and confusing. So I'm here to walk you through it to make sure that in your games of Civ 7, you are not cowed by the Exploration Age. Instead, you are able to take it on with a confidence and a vigor. Feel free to hop in right now with the Exploration Age if you want to pick up here. I played this game through Antiquity, though, so if you want to watch that tutorial and pick up all those tips and tricks and see how we got to this point, that video will be in the description below. The Exploration Age has begun. The first thing we need to do in this new age is choose our legacy points from the last age. There's a little bit of lag time, but we are finally being rewarded for all of the legacy paths we finished in the last age. We have points that we have accrued for each path, so all of the culture milestones, the Building of Wonders is giving us 2 culture points. The codices collection that we did is giving us 3 scientific points. So what I want to reiterate with this is these are not the victory conditions yet. We are not yet in the modern age. So whether you accomplished all of these and have 1,000,000 points to spend, or you accomplished none of them, have 0 points to spend, the bonuses we are about to get are helpful and they are powerful, but they are not everything. If you are looking at your legacy points right now and going, man, I don't have as many points as VanBradley does, that is okay. Maybe you have more points than me, maybe you have fewer, but just know this is not the be-all and end-all of your game of Civ. So if you get to this point and you're already feeling overwhelmed because you don't have a lot of legacy points, don't stress about it. We're going to work through it. You just got to get your head down and keep driving through. One more turn, baby. The first thing we're going to do is take our Great Library Golden Age, the one we earned for finishing the Science Legacy path. We earned it. We're going to take it. Academies become Golden Age Academies. They retain their base yields, adjacency bonuses, and effects in the next age, which is awesome. These buildings are no longer depreciating. They're going to keep all of their effects and their adjacency bonuses, which is amazing. It's going to start us off with quite a bit more science, so we are going to take this for 2 of our science points. We are really close to the end of that science tree and that 5% repeatable culture, so we are going to use our scientific point and our wildcard point to just double dip and take 2 of those. I'll spend our economic attribute point as is, just there. Remember, these attribute points are very good, so if you find yourself confused, you don't know what everything else does, if all you're doing is taking attribute points, that is a very good strategy and is worth doing. With our 2 military points, we are taking fealty. That +2 settlement limit will give us so many more options at the start of this age. We want more towns, we want more cities, we have to go explore the distant lands, and we'll need room to settle over there, so that'll be perfect. We'll take that. And then just because we have the points and I'm looking to have a little bit of fun, we have quite a few wonders. Wonders we control get +1 culture and +1 happiness. Why not? Why not just take it? The final option we have here is to change our capital. Now, there's a few reasons you might want to do this. Some of them we'll talk about in the age transition to the modern age, where we almost certainly will change our capital. But for now, I'm going to keep ours the same. Just know that all of our cities have become towns. So Wakhabnal has become a town because of the age transition. So if you change your capital, our current capital, Bach, will remain a city, and our new capital will upgrade to a city. So you can get a free city upgrade by doing this. Your capital, the palace in your capital, also gives some bonuses to the new city. So if you have a city like Bach that is already really well established and doesn't need those bonuses, so you want to transfer it to a new city like Mediolanum, which has nothing else going on, that can be a great way to get a new city going. I think for now, though, just to keep it simple, we will keep our capital the same, but just know it is a very reasonable strategy to be changing your capital here. Don't stress too much about this, but whatever you chose, once you made your selection, click Confirm Legacies, and you are good to begin the Exploration Age. Now, this is where things get really exciting. In the Antiquity Age, our overall goal was to set up a good base of operation for the Exploration Age. We have done that. Remember, the game is not won or lost in this age either. So we have 2 really good cities, or had 2 good cities. We'll upgrade Wakhabnal back, so don't worry. We have a couple of really good towns. We took out this homie over here that has a lot of food for us, which is great. We have that good base of operation. Now, in this age, we are going to kind of keep this and expand it. We have a lot more room. We have more settlement limit. We have more of the map to explore. So we're going to want to expand our base of operation, but we're going to add to that goal. Let's be a little more ambitious. In the Exploration Age, this is the first time our yields can kind of scale really well. I've seen exploration ages with 1500 culture and 1500 science per turn, and you can really start building an empire that absolutely snowballs out of control. We are still limited, of course, by the end of the exploration age. We still have to go through one more age transition, but the exploration age is really the first age where I think you can pretty much win a game of Civ 7. The victory condition won't come until the modern age, but the exploration age is where you can really set yourself up for success and really scale past the AI. If we don't accomplish that goal and all we end up with is a real fighting chance in the modern age, that will be great. But if we play this correctly, we should be able to advance far past the other AI in the game and really set ourselves up for that victory early on in the modern age. Let's spend our points here. We already gained 2 science on every specialist, so another 1 science on specialist, plus 2 for now because we have 3 or fewer cities, which is great. But let's just make uber good specialists, and then we can take this 5% total science repeatable. This is super overpowered. I do reckon we are going to get to the point where you either have to go through both sides of the tree, or well, they will make this so you can only take this once. However, for now, it's in the game. We're doing it. It's a real legit strategy. Plus 5% total science repeatable is absolutely insane. Let's take a look at our map. The first thing you're going to notice is that our relationships have kind of carried over. Xerxes didn't like us very much. He still doesn't like us very much. We're still very hostile with Friedrich, so we do have to worry about some wars we might be fighting here. We're also going to meet 2 new civs. It's a lot of different fronts to have an army on. You can see our units got upgraded, so if you had any melee units, they've been turned into like the new melee units. Ranged and cavalry units are the same. If you had any siege units, they have disappeared now, which is a little unfortunate. But basically what we're going to do is take our commanders, round up our units, and put them in Koba, maybe just a good central location. So if there are any fights breaking out early on, we can kind of put them down a little bit and make sure we're not going to get rolled early on in the age. Just so we can have 2 cities again, I am going to turn Wat Cabnal back into a city, which is awesome. So we're going to do that. We are back to our 2 cities. Any town that was a city in the previous age is pretty cheap to get back to a city. It was only 200 gold. And remember, with our memento, we started with 400 gold in this age. So I haven't even spent all of our starting gold getting back to the amount of cities we had. So I'm not overly stressed about that. I think Mediolanum will eventually be a good city once it's kind of connected on the coast. So I think Mediolanum might be next up. We also have some distant land settles over here we're going to take advantage of. But yeah, 2 cities for now is good enough. You will notice quite a few of the resources have changed. We will have new resources to pick up. I definitely want Batavium to grow into this gold. I definitely want Sparta to grow to like double horses, niter, and the Kowlin here. You're going to see that resources we previously had now have different effects. This used to be 2 food in the capital and 4 for other cities. Now it's 3 food on the homeland, or 3 production on the homeland and 6 production to distant land cities. So just take a look at all your resources. Make sure they're still doing the thing you think they're going to do. If they're doing something different, you've now read and understand what it is they're doing that's different. So just double check all your resources. Where this comes in very important, though, is you might want to grow your towns again. So if we take a look at Sparta, we have new resources like the niter to pick up, so we want to make sure we're still growing Sparta to pick up the new resources. There are some places like Khan, though, where we can kind of just say, okay, you're going to go back to being a mining town. At the beginning of each age, each town is going to reset their focus. So we now have all the options that are available. Still mining town, still farming town. We have some new ones for this age, like a religious site. So feel free to go through and just see, do I want a new town focus? Do I want to keep it the same? Do I want to keep it growing for now to gain new resources or new tiles? I think we can get this town back to being a mining town. I think the same is true in Koba here. I think those are really good production towns, and that'll increase our gold output. I think the rest of them, though, there are some resources we want to grow and grab. In Uxmal, I'm going to get some fishing boats and make this a farming town just so there's more food kind of heading back to our capital. I think that'll be great for us. Part of being in a new age is all of the new buildings. So we're going to start with a few new ageless building options, some from the previous age, some new like the stonecutter for this age. We have to unlock all the exploration age buildings in the tree, but for right now, this stonecutter is going to be awesome for us, so we're going to place that down. The first thing you are going to notice in your cities with the exploration age that a lot of your buildings are now obsolete. The user interface in the base version of Civ 7 as I'm recording this is really, really awful. It's just not the best part of the game at all. So I'm using a user interface mod to kind of show off that these buildings are obsolete, just to make it easy for me to look at and easy for you to look at. But any obsolete building is still giving us their base yield, but is no longer giving us their adjacency. As an example, this market was giving us quite a bit of gold in the previous age because it was an antiquity age building, but now it's just going to give us the +2 gold regardless of how good the adjacencies were or how much gold it was giving us before. What this means though is we can build over those obsolete buildings. So if I hover over here, it says this will build over the garden because the garden is obsolete. It'll remove the garden and put a new building on top of it. There are a few reasons you might want to do this. The first reason is that any old buildings do not count towards a quarter. So any tile with an obsolete building is no longer a quarter. It's not giving us that 2 happiness from the Colosseum or the culture from Pyramid of the Sun or any of those other kind of per quarter bonuses we were getting. The second reason is those buildings are still charging full maintenance. And so if this market is only giving us 2 gold, it's coming at the cost of like 4 happiness or whatever the maintenance for that building is. So you don't want to keep your obsolete buildings around for too long. If you have lots of food, but you're short on culture, though, you might want to build over your food buildings first to get rid of the base food and keep the base culture around as long as possible. But just know we are going to want to get rid of these obsolete buildings as a matter of priority instead of continuing to expand for other reasons, but just mainly for the fact that they're still charging maintenance and we're not getting our culture and happiness kind of quarter bonuses on those tiles anymore. With that being said, I'm actually going to break my own rule right away here. I don't like putting my ageless buildings on other tiles that don't have ageless buildings. Ageless buildings do not get adjacencies. They just approve other tile types. And so if I put it next to a wonder or anything, it's not going to get that adjacency. So I want to keep all of my tiles next to wonders kind of available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this over here, I think. Just get it out of the way. We'll still get the production. It's going to improve all our mines and quarries, but it's not going to take up a spot that would be a great spot for a building that has adjacencies. A new tech tree and new masteries are such a fun thing to explore. We have so much to look forward to. Machinery and astronomy were the 2 boosts we got for finishing the science tech tree twice, which is awesome. The 2 that I'm most interested first are astronomy. I'd love to get a fleet commander. Think of it like an army commander, but for your boats this time. These science buildings are really good as well. The observatory is excellent. Cartography is also great, though. It allows your civilian and support units to enter deep ocean. Machinery is also quite good. The gristmill and the sawmill, they are ageless buildings, but they are very, very helpful for improving those tiles. We already improved our ageless buildings in the last era, and so, getting, another building like a sawmill that improves camps and woodcutters when we already have saw pits that improve woodcutters is really, really nice. And so you can kind of double down on your ageless buildings that are improving certain tile types. I think for now we are going to go with cartography first, just to kind of get it out of the way. And in our 2 cities that have our Maya unique quarter, we're still going to get that production boost. We're not going to get it in any new cities because we can no longer build the Maya unique quarter, but in these 2 cities we're still going to get the production boost for finishing techs, which is really, really exciting. It also appears my capital banner has disappeared, which is very, very funny. I don't know what kind of bug has the banner for our capital disappearing, but we're just going to roll with it. In the exploration age, you are always going to start with a boat, and that boat can explore the deep ocean right away. It's going to take damage for doing so, but I see a lot of people assuming that you cannot explore the distant lands until you have shipbuilding. That is not true. We're going to bring our boat up the coast here. I just don't want to take damage yet. We're going to bring our boat up the coastal tiles. We can see right here, rather luckily, that there's a great spot to cross without taking too much damage. So once we hit here, we'll cross and visit the distant lands. Just like the Antiquity Age, we have our unique civilization civic tree, so that'll be the Ming civic tree here. We definitely want to unlock this Great Wall fairly early on. For now, though, I think I want to come in here and grab our unique merchant. I want to get those trade routes going. I want to start collecting those resources, so we're going to take a look at that. And once that's done, though, we'll probably come in here and grab 9 garrisons. Piety is really good if you want to get a religion right away. We'll talk about religion once we get there. There's also a lot of good wonders in here to unlock and a lot of good kind of passive bonuses and policy cards. So just take a look around. I don't want to tell you this is right, this is wrong. I kind of want to give you the information to make your own decisions, but just take a look through some of these abilities and kind of see, yeah, I might want that. I can make that work. Just a reminder to everyone that as Ming, we are going to gain 50% science in the capital, which is awesome. Another good reason to keep our capital the same because it's generating a high amount of science right now. But we have minus 15 science per turn for every social policy we slot in, but not tradition. So when we get to our policy card selection, it's important we only slot in our traditions. Right now, that's all that's available to us, but later on we're going to have traditions and kind of ordinary policy cards. So when possible, we want to make sure we're slotting in tradition. Our city-states have spawned in. We have Medina over here, which is going to cause some problems. They are hostile. Tondo is not hostile, though, because we were friendly with the city-state that was here in the last age. So that's all good. Tondo, it's still not a culture, independent power anymore. We can still choose to kill it or seize it again or whatever we want to do. The cost for befriending it has gone up in this age, but at least it's not hostile right away. It leads me to believe, though, we're going to want to take these army commanders, kind of suck up all of our units. Oh, you're already full, homie. That's all good. And go and get rid of Medina as soon as possible. The new government options are here, and there's a lot of great ones. The food is really good. I like plutocracy, though. Just two really good options. More gold is always great. Overbuilding, we're doing a lot. Overbuilding is the act of putting a building over top of one of your obsolete buildings, and that's something that just happens a lot in the exploration age, so 30% production towards that. You can't really go wrong, and so we're going to grab plutocracy. I think, unfortunately for Tondo, we are going to have to kill it. It's in the way of the horse and this kind of Kowlin tile that I really want. I also don't have much use for a economic city-state at the moment, so I think we're going to get rid of Tondo and Medina for the gold. Not to mention the army commander promotions too, which are quite nice. It's 25 experience every time you clear one of these, plus all the experience you gain fighting, so good deal for us. The amount of production we're already gaining for our I wouldn't be surprised if by the time you watch this video, the Maya unique quarter has been nerfed to some degree, because the fact that you can just get this every single time you finish a tech is genuinely insane. I think we're going to go for a settler. Now that cartography is done, we can take our settlers across as well, so we can already start settling whatever the distant lands this is, and so I want to make sure we have a settler on standby to accomplish that goal. Next up, I'll go machinery, then I'm going to go astronomy. We want these three right away for sure. The wharf is a great early building. It is going to give us a base of 4 food. It's going to give us a ton for being next to the ocean, which is really nice. It's also going to give us 2 resources in this settlement, which is very helpful because a lot of our resource capacity is gone. So can't say enough good things about an early wharf, and it gets rid of this obsolete lighthouse, which is awesome. That's a lie. It's going to be built next to the obsolete lighthouse, but this lighthouse is going to get destroyed eventually. The game is trying to save poor Tondo. It's like, do you want to start hostilities with the independent? But like, yeah, I do. It's Sid Meier's Civilization 7. I'm here for the violence. Like, what are we doing? Obviously. Tondo lasted exactly 1 turn. That was very violent. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Tondo. I need these horses. What can I say? I need the horses. It's not my fault. We have 1,700 gold, so I'm going to go around to my towns and make sure we are getting them everything they need to succeed. I just want to make sure the towns are all contributing. A 6 production sawmill is absolutely insane, so that's going to be amazing for us. We'll chuck that down there. Some good production on the sawmill itself, but +1 or 2 or whatever it is to all the lumber mills here is incredible. We've unlocked the observatory in Whack Cabnal, and this is where a lot of our overbuilding gets interesting. Gristmill, ageless, it's going to be around. It's not going to gain adjacency, so we want to put that somewhere out of the way. But the observatory is going to gain adjacency, and we want to build it over top of wherever our library was. +5 science, +1 culture is amazing. It's going to get rid of that obsolete library and finish up this quarter. Typically, if you overbuild the same type of building, it's helpful because they have the same adjacencies. You're not always going to be able to do that, but I know the science buildings are good here because I put 2 of them here last age. So just kind of overbuilding the science with the science building is a good way to get started with overbuilding. Once you become more comfortable with it, you're going to start exploring the strategies a little more deeply, but just kind of building like for like over top is a great way to get started. It's been pointed out in the comments that I did not achieve the expansionist attribute point quest in the last age, so we're going to make up for it here. VB is a humble man, capable of making mistakes, so we are going to found 2 settlements in the distant lands, and I assure you I'm going to achieve this one. Early on, I'm pretty interested in the kiln. The kiln will give us 10% production towards wonders, and I think that's just very valuable. We have a handful of cities, and we're going to want to build more wonders in them for the adjacency, for the wonder abilities, and just being able to know we can get those a little bit faster than the AI if they decide not to build kilns is amazing. And oh my god, 12 science observatory. I'm never going to say no to a 12 science building, so let's put that bad boy in. You can see our ship here took a little damage for being on the open ocean. That's totally fine, though. We only had 1 tile to traverse. You might have 4 or 5. Once you find distant lands, though, you can heal up on the coast, which is awesome. Now, this is a really exciting moment in the exploration age. We can finally see the distant lands. There's going to be a little island chain in here connected to another large continent. That large continent is where we are going to find our other AI civs. The thing I want to point out here, though, is just the amount of food potential from settling on these little coastal chains here. So we're going to be settling here for some food, but also the fact that we are now introduced to treasure fleet resources. Since treasure fleet resources don't actually do anything for us until we unlock shipbuilding, we'll kind of put them on the back burner for now, but just know they are part of this economic victory condition, or not the victory condition, sorry, that's not the term I want to use, the economic legacy path here. We're going to need to gain some treasure fleet points, and treasure fleet resources are how we do that. So just knowing that you might want these treasure fleet resources a little bit later. While we're here, though, I am taking the same approach as we did for the last age, and it's the approach I recommend in your games of Civ 7. The game is not won or lost in this age. Going down any one of these paths does not lock you out of any other victory condition in the next age. Yes, it would be nice to continue down the science path if it's possible, but what we're going to do is play 30, play 50 turns, check in here and see what's achievable. I think economic is going to be pretty achievable. We know we're going to go explore the distant lands. That's going to be great. Science is likely going to be achievable as Confucius. We know we're not going to have too much trouble gaining 40 yield tiles. So those are kind of the two I'm looking at, but we'll take a look at culture and military as well as we get things going. I also want to note this right now because it's something I keep hearing people say about the exploration age, and while it's a little bit true, it's not as true as people are making it out to believe, and that is that you need to explore the distant lands to have a successful exploration age. Where this is most true is yes, for at least the treasure fleet resources and non-sufficient ore B, which kind of takes into account settlements you have on the distant lands, you are going to need to explore the distant lands to some capacity if you want to go down these two legacy paths. The science one and the culture one, though, do not require you to go to the distant lands at all, and it is a very valid strategy to stay on your home continent and forego, heavy exploration of the new world and just stay here and destroy all your enemies. If you go into the modern age and all you've accomplished is none of the legacy paths, but you've taken out all of the other people on your continent and you have a giant, awesome, amazing empire in the modern age, that is very successful. At turn 8, at this point, early on, just know that you do not have to go to the distant lands to have a successful game of Civ 7. Yes, the game kind of encourages you to. Yes, there are benefits for doing so. There are also benefits to staying here, building up your empire, and bullying your neighbors. So if you want to play Civ 7 on your home continent, feel free to do that. You are no less able to win a game in the modern age if you stayed here rather than explored all of the distant lands. We've already got a celebration. I'm going to take that overbuilding, baby. We're overbuilding in 2 cities already, which is awesome. We are already also running out of traditions. This is another good reason to go down the unique civic tree because we have all of our unique Maya traditions that carry over. What we need now, though, are our unique Ming civics, because these are the traditions in here that we need. And if we run out of traditions, we're going to lose 15 science per turn per policy card we put in. Xerxes had the exact same idea we did, but we got here first, and we're better than him, so we're going to take that gold and the experience. Oh, it seems like it splits it in half if you have more than one army commander. How cool. In any case, I'm going to start that research collaboration with Tecumseh. It's more powerful in this age, and I just want to get one of those going. The rest of it, though, I'm probably going to spend on trade routes if Xerxes and Tecumseh decide they don't hate me. Let's also reconcile with our homie here. I'm not going to go to war with him early on here, and that makes the relationship a little bit better every turn, so that'll be a good idea for us. You can see it's turn 10, and our settler is already in the distant lands, so do not waste time. If you were going to come over to the distant lands, you can do it really early with cartography. Your boat can come over even before you have that research, so do not stress about waiting till shipbuilding to come to the distant lands. I took a narrative event that gave me +4 gold on the guild hall in our capital. That's a +12 guild hall, which is just absolutely insane. It'll build over the monument, but I don't mind that at all. Or we can get rid of the altar. I'm going to get rid of the altar. Let's get rid of the altar and put down that guild hall. A 9 culture kiln is also going to be great for us. Where is that getting built? I could start a new district over here, but I'll take 8 culture and just overbuild something that's obsolete. I don't want to pay both maintenances for only 1 culture per turn. We've unlocked our unique merchant so we can get to trading again. It works the exact same. Get the merchant, you know, go trade for the resources. Same exact menu and everything. The trade route, you know, range has just been expanded. I believe it's 5 tiles on land, so 15 now, and then like 30 or 40 tiles over the ocean, something crazy like that. I'm going to go into our unique tree, though, just to unlock some traditions so I have something to fill that space with so we don't have to take that 15 science penalty so early. And that science penalty is per card as well, so it's going to add up quick. I definitely want wonder production in the capital, though. A kiln in the city center is really, really fun. That'll complete another quarter for us, which is amazing. Now, when we settle this city here on the coast, coastal settlements will automatically connect to other coastal settlements if they're in range. Because Wakabnal and Bach are not coastal, though, I don't think it'll automatically connect over land. We're going to have to build a wharf. I believe it's the wharf in the exploration age, but there will be a building we will need to build on the water, I believe, to connect these. We're going to have to play around with it a little bit. They've been patching it. It's been a little wonky to try and figure out, but I just want to make sure that we note that so I can explain to you how to connect a coastal city kind of in the middle here to a city that's not on the coast if we want to send our food from this town over. What's great, though, is this town is going to have, it looks like a couple of sawmills for us, but definitely 1, 2, 3 treasure resources, which is awesome. Since this cocoa is not doing anything for us early on, I think I want to grab this fish for the +5 food, then 2 kind of sawmills to work our way out here, then the 3 cocoa will be my build path. You can see homie doesn't hate us anymore, which is awesome. I'm going to buy a merchant. They're pretty, you know, cheap early on in the age. I'm going to buy the Mandarin here. That is our unique merchant. If we use the build road function, which we showed off in the last age here, we can get 100 gold. For now, though, I'm just going to use you to trade with Xerxes to get some cool resources. We've unlocked the inn, and I have a spot to put a 7 food 2 happiness in both of our cities. Food and happiness are incredibly powerful, so that's such a win for us early on here. The Shwedagon Zedida has a really good ability. I'd love the science on rural tiles. I'd love the wildcard attribute point. I'd love the adjacency that any wonder gives. The specialist limit in all cities. It really seems like education is somewhere we want to go. And it's just fun to say Shwedagon Zedida. I'm going to queue up another settler, though. We have already kind of got another settlement limit through the civics tree or the science tree or wherever. So our settlement limit is going crazy right now. I want to make sure we're settling this area over here as well. If I can block off some of these little islands in the middle here, I think that'll give us a good base kind of to bounce over to the real distant land continent a little bit later. And there's a natural wonder. Oh my goodness. The food and culture. Oh my God. Yeah, we're getting another settler in Bach after that inn goes down. Let's finalize that trailer with Karakoram, which is awesome. Now, I believe if I click it, it actually shows you the route it's taking. So the white line is the route. It'll be longer over water than on land, but that's where your unit is actually going to go and where it can be pillaged is along this white line. So we'll do that, and we'll get our resources, and now we can assign them. Getting some happiness and some food in Wakabnal is not a bad thing, so that'll be an easy choice for us. I think, though, it is time for another city, and Sparta looks like just the place. We are growing it out for its resources for the next little while, so it's not going to have a town focus for quite a bit anyway. Its food isn't going to be going to another city. Alternatively, as well, there's lots of room for us to build buildings and wonders. It has its own production. It's got a few really good production tiles, especially once we get some of these going. We're going to be able to buy some good production buildings into it, so it'll be able to sustain itself really, really well. It also appears we might want to use some of our settlement limit over on this end of the continent as well. Visiting the distant lands from both sides might be something we're interested in. So I'm going to take the gold, and we're going to convert Sparta to a city. What a fun moment. I'm smiling, kind of grinning at the moment. Then I'm going to purchase a settler right away so we can kind of start taking up some of this area over here that looks really valuable for us. Now, my only regret for the rest... No! No. How dare you? See, it was a good idea that we had, because he's thinking the same thing. I'm going to block him. If I block... Oh, no! He's got multiple! Oh, we might be too late. Oh, YouTube, we might be too late. He might have had the good idea before we did. Oh, dear. Okay, well, he can't settle on the silk. So if we just try and bully him a little bit out of the way, maybe we'll be able to stop him. Maybe he'll run away. Narrator, he did not, in fact, run away. Oh, he's on the water. He's on the water. Maybe he's running to the distant lands. Okay, let's block this homie. Oh, do we want to settle somewhere in the middle? I kind of want it to be on the coast. I did want to be on the coast, but if I can settle here and block him next turn, that would be a great achievement for us. So hopefully this is okay. I can get another science on specialist, which is so funny. We're going to do that. I think the 4 science on... Oh, and a scientific attribute point. You don't say. Another 5% repeatable science. Oh, my goodness. He's trying to diplomacy denounce me. I don't think that'll work, though. I think we're blocking him. Sorry, homie. Speaking of which, though, do you want to improve our trade relations? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd love to trade with you again. Let's get another Mandarin in Sparta and then start that trade route. This settler is ready to embark on its voyage over in this direction, which is awesome. Means we can grab this +8 university and feel pretty good about it. Over top of the obsolete amphitheater as well. Oh my goodness. +1 science on science buildings and a free relic is going to be great. And then after this, oh my, where did the city banner go? Help. I can't queue up a production. Oh no. Hopefully it'll prompt me in the next time it has it. Oh, there it is. We're back. Oh, you can't build the Schwedegon Zedida. What are the needs? I'm not gonna lie, I got a little excited without checking what I need. Must be placed adjacent to a lake. Oh well, the good thing is we don't have any cities near a lake at the moment. Except for Sparta. Sparta could build it over here. Okay, Sparta is gonna grab our Schwedegon Zedida. So we need to get it outfitted with a kiln and a production building of some capacity. Yeah, homie's traveling over to the distant lands, but he's not settling here, which is great. I don't know how he's going to get his treasure fleets back, but that's okay. It means we can settle on the coast, though, so we don't have to settle right here. On a side note, settling here is not so bad, especially if we can grab... I kind of want to settle where his dude is right here, I think. Especially if we can grab some of this navigable... I'm just going to settle right here. Why not? There we go. Gwilin is here. We got early wine. That's going to be awesome. Let's get a free commander promotion. We'll take this wine. 3 happiness in the capital feels great. We've unlocked the French Empire for improving 3 wine. Bunch of drunks. I love the French and I love wine, so don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, things are going well. I'm still trying to unlock enough traditions to keep us safe for a little while, but I'm missing out on all of the good kind of wonders and everything that's going on in the Civic tree, as well as I do want to unlock a religion and piety fairly quickly here. Okay, I'm going to go into piety. I also really want Tomb of Askia. Oh my, there's just so much good stuff going on. I think that's one of the cool things about, so we have 2 points. Yeah, we're going to go down this way and try and get to the end here. I think that's one of the cool things about Civ 7, though, is like it does feel like there's a cost. There's like 4 different places I want to go in the Civic tree, which is exactly what you want. You want your Civic tree to feel like there's a lot of good options. It's also a good lesson. You know, this is a tutorial video. It's a good lesson that not every game of Civ is the same. Not every game means you're going to make the same choices. You might make different choices than me. What I want to introduce you to is just a little bit of critical thinking in Civ, like looking through the options and going, this sounds good. If I get this, how could I use that to my advantage? It's not about picking the right or the wrong thing. It's about picking something that you can use to your advantage and then actually kind of, you know, committing to that strategy. So I'm hoping that that kind of thought process is getting through in this video. We've now acquired that 3rd gold, which is awesome. So our buildings are going to be super cheap now. Every gold we spend on buildings counts as 1.6 gold, which is incredible. We can also finally choose that mining focus here and kind of make the most of that. Now, which you're going to go to Wat Cabnal, right? Perfect. Yeah, you're sending your food to Wat Cabnal, which is exactly what we want. Now, Wat Cabnal has a wharf, and Mediolanum is definitely going to become a city. Oh, especially if we can get this gold here. That would be incredible. However, just for funsies, we know this is going to be a fishing town anyway. So let's switch it to a fishing town. Are you also connected to Wat Cabnal because there's a wharf? Yeah, it's the wharf that does it. So now Mediolanum is also connected to Wat Cabnal because of the wharf. So that's a perfect connection we've made here over the water. I think what I'm going to do, though, is stick with growing town, at least try and get the gold within our grasp. I think getting that gold will be better than getting Wat Cabnal super boosted at the moment. I think eventually... No, you're not denouncing me, you Dorcas. I think eventually this will become a city, but for now, we can just acquire the gold and send a ton of food back to Wat Cabnal. And now that I think about it, this is where the strategy comes in, you know? We're all still learning. If I'm sending that much food to Wat Cabnal, it might be worth not making Mediolanum the city. Typically, your food towns are your best ones to keep towns, and your production towns are the best ones to make cities. So we'll have to play it by ear there and kind of see what we might want to do. The Ming Great Wall is absolutely incredible. It goes over top of your rural tiles and does not get rid of their warehouse bonuses. So whatever is being improved by like a granary or a saw pit will keep that production or that food. What I do wonder, though, is let's say this is a woodcutter right here. If I got the saw pit, it would add 1. So this would end up being 3 production. If I put the Ming Great Wall on top, I'm going to keep the 2 production, but I do think it stops it from gaining the 3 later, and this might be a fun test for us. I'm going to save this as Great Wall test and then test it out right now. So I know for a fact that if I build this saw pit right now, it will add 1 production to this woodcutter because it's a woodcutter, and the saw pit adds 1 production to woodcutters. This tooltip is bugged, by the way, but it will add 2, not 1. 1 for the saw pit and 1 for this woodcutter. So if I grab the Great Wall, let's purchase the Great Wall and put it on top. There we go. It kept the 2 production. But if I now buy the saw pit, will it add that production to that tile still, or is that gone? It did add the production to the tile, so the Great Wall just goes over top kind of visually, but it keeps the woodcutter underneath gaining that production. So that's an incredible buy for all you. All your rural tiles should have a Great Wall on them. That's incredible. Another thing I just showed off is the saving feature. Like, make sure you are saving and loading games using your autosaves, learning this way. You know, that would have been something we wouldn't have been able to figure out unless we tested it. Now we can reload the game here. I don't actually want that saw pit. I was just kind of testing it out. We're going to reload the game here and get back into it. I will look for a spot for this sawmill eventually. For now, though, I am going to build the Ming Great Wall over top. We'll get those 2. I'm going to queue up both of them, actually, because those are both just incredible. Do you even want to know where I want to put this Great Wall? My goodness. Now, these walls are ageless, so I suppose the only thing that could go wrong here is that this tile is overbuildable, so if I want to build something on top of it, I can reassign the worker. Once I put the Great Wall down, I can't, but for the amount of culture we're going to get on these 2 tiles out of the way, I don't really care, to be honest. You can see that our science is already really scaling ahead. 278 to 73 to 31 to 57. This is the scaling I'm talking about. It's so much easier, only 22 turns into the exploration age, to get those yields kind of juicing up a little bit and putting you far enough ahead in the AI that when you get to that modern age, you can really kind of nail down that victory. I do really want this silk, but at some point we just have to say yes to a 7 science, 2 culture, 2 gold, 2 food specialist. I think, though, this also means that we're going to pretty easily get 40 yields on quite a few of our tiles, which is one of the goals for the scientific kind of legacy path here. So we'll keep an eye on this one. It seems like getting to this golden age is going to be the easiest one for us. Hey, we made it to our first cocoa, so we're going to start collecting the cocoa. And then by the time we hit shipbuilding, those treasure fleet resources are really going to add up. 3 turns until shipbuilding, which is excellent. We're very happy about that. We don't have any yet, but we are going to have quite a few fishing boats, so I'm going to make sure we grab this fishing key here. Oh my goodness. Now, what did that improve? Evidently, putting that granary down gave me a 40 yield tile. I mean, we have a 40 yield tile right here, and this is 31, 35, 37, 39. So I think maybe it's just counting the 40 yield tile for the first time that's over here. It doesn't count your capital, your city center tiles, but the, sciences have 5 districts that are not the city center with 40 total yield. That is definitely this tile, and I wonder what about the granary over here or the fishing key over here made that pop, but who cares? It's correct, that's fine. I really want all of these resources, and I really want this +9 specialist. I've got to at least take this niter for the production and to get the tiles over here for the horses, but the specialists are so good as Confucius, it's really hard not to take them. There's a lot of room down here that our homie Frederick does not seem very keen on settling. I found a cultural city-state, though, and I do have a use for one of you. So instead of coming to destroy you, I don't really have an army down here. I'll start the process of befriending you instead. Tecumseh's been spying on me, and I want you to know right now that the counter-spy system in this game is whack. There's not a lot you can do to stop this. Just know that we're just going to acknowledge it. They got caught. They're going to gain a 4 influence penalty for 10 turns, but they gained vision of all of our commanders. Ooh. I think I am going to bring my army over to kill Anna Kenna, though. I want this space. I want this treasure fleet resource. I certainly want this silver. This just seems like a good vibe area. It'll connect another really high food town to Bach, which I'm going to want. So I think oh my goodness, you're way on the other side. Okay, this is going to be it's a bit of a march, but we're going to start bringing our army back this way. Now, shipbuilding is a big moment in the exploration age. It is the keystone by which the entire age revolves around. Once you unlock shipbuilding, all the units that can go over deep ocean can now go over freely. So you'll see my settler no longer takes damage from going over the deep ocean. Our boats aren't going to take damage. So now we have an advantage over the AI. If we are the first that can explore deep ocean the quickest, we just have a way easier time navigating around the distant lands and getting our towns set up. We've unlocked a few cool buildings. We also finished a piety, so now we can get a temple. It is a happiness building, so it's going to gain all the regular happiness adjacencies with it, which in Whack Cabnal is absolutely insane. It also means we can start a religion. So if you want to start a religion, which we are going to do, a temple is going to be the start of that process. The shipyard is also a production building that goes on the water. You can put it at the wharf to create a quarter. We are going to take a look at that as well. But 9 happiness, I'm not giving up very easily. So we're going to chuck that down right here for that temple. The shipbuilding mastery will also allow all embarked land units to enter deep ocean terrain. Right now, they can only enter if they're inside a commander. So if you get mastery, they'll just be able to kind of flow their way through the deep ocean, which is kind of fun. We might as well pick up that mastery just while we're here. I'd normally make sure my towns are good to go, but when you have a new city, you want to catch it up to speed quickly. So we want to make sure we keep Sparta growing, so that food is going to be really helpful. I need one more growth to grow to the Schwedigon Zedida, whatever tile that we want. And so I'll also chuck down the shipyard just for a little extra production while we're waiting. We've got that temple in Whack Cabnal, so we can create our religion. Now, the religion will do a little bit for you. It is mainly a relic generating thing, though. So I want you to think of the religion right now in this patch as a secondary feature. If you would like to go through the tediousness of building missionaries and spreading your religion, there are good benefits to be had. You do not need to have a successful, we're just going to name this one Snake because it's a snake. If you do not want to go through the process of having a religion, you will not need to do that to have a successful exploration age. However, if what you want is the relics in the culture kind of tree here in the legacy path, you are going to have to get a religion to get enough relics. The reason being is that we have a reliquary belief. So this belief is a way by which we can acquire relics via spreading our religion. I would normally take apostolicism. That's 2 relics every time we convert a city that has a wonder for the first time. That's gone, though. I think the next easiest one, though, to start getting some relics is 1 relic for the first time conversion of a distant land city. We know there's still 2 civs left to meet. They're each going to have 4 or 5 cities that we can convert, so that'll be like 8 or 9 relics if we'd like to. So we're going to go evangelism. I'll also go Shrines of the Kami, 4 culture, gold, and science for every wonder in the other civilization settlements following our religion. It means we can send our religion to some cities that have some wonders, get a little bit of culture, gold, and science from it, and that'll be good enough for now. Now that we have shipbuilding, we are also starting to generate treasure fleets. So if you have a city that's connected to the water, it needs to be connected to the water. If it is landlocked, it will not work, which is very silly, and I hope they patch it. But right now in this patch, it needs to be connected to the water. So Funzu connected to the water via a wharf, via being coastal, via something. If we have treasure fleets in any city connected to the water, or even a navigable river that leads to the water, just some way to get to the water, we will start earning treasure fleet points. If we come to our Funzu Town resource section, you'll see it takes 6 turns for a treasure fleet. When that treasure fleet spawns, it is going to give us 1 treasure fleet point for every treasure fleet resource that we have. So right now it'll be 1. Once we get these 2, it'll be 3. Once that treasure fleet spawns, to get those points kind of counted towards the victory condition, we need to bring that treasure fleet back to our home continent and kind of not plunder, but kind of give our treasure over to our home continent. We've got this weird choice that gives us science but minus culture, or culture but minus science. I'm going to go culture but minus science. Culture is where we're lagging right now. We have enough science. We're way ahead. I want to get some of my civics more quickly. I want to unlock more traditions. I want to get... Oh, do we want to go architecture? Oh, the menagerie and the pavilion, mainly the menagerie, though, are incredible. I have no need for dungeons or crossbows at the moment. So right now, this is a good kind of turning point to kind of discuss our strategy here. Every time we look at the tech tree, it's good to look at what would be helpful to me right now. There are multiple ways to go through this. We could circle back for some masteries, right? +1 happiness on happiness buildings, +1 food on farms and pastures. These are all helpful. I think the menagerie is the next best thing we can get, and 4 turns it's worth going into. Then we'll take a look at the next thing. But that's the decision-making process we're going through every single time, is what's the next thing that would be helpful to our game. In the civics tree, I'm really trying to see if we can get the Tomb of Askia. I suspect we've been beaten to it, so that might be a problem, but I really do love the Tomb of Askia. Anything that gives you resource capacity, I find very valuable, especially because we're about to discover 2 new civs to trade resources with, so we're going to have a lot to spare, so having some resource capacity would be nice. Going into theology, a brand new civic option. In theology and reformation, you can improve your religion, get some more kind of relic and religion focused stuff going. We're going to ignore that for now. It's not really our game this game, but it's here if you want to check it out. And then we still have all of our really good abilities like this policy card, this tradition, +1 science for each resource assigned to a city. Look, we got a couple of cities now. I'm assigning tons of resources to them. That's a lot of science. I want to start getting those things online. There's a few ageless buildings that we can grab, but one of the things we haven't done yet is built a navy. And I want to start building a navy just in case any of these new civs we're about to meet start kicking up a ruckus. So we are going to start with a fleet commander. And then after that, we are going to produce a Carrack to go inside the fleet commander. Since the AI seems determined to steal my things, I am going to steal their government secrets. If they're going to espionage against us, I'm going to espionage against them. All right, this is another 40 yield tile that's not a city center, so that should be counting towards the, yeah, there it is. 2 of 5 districts with 40 yields. Hell yeah, brother. I put another specialist in here, so that's great. We found where Xerxes settled, man. Kind of rushed over to the distant lands, and he made it. Good stuff. I can build the Tomb of Askia in Sparta. I'm going to try and build it in and amongst just all these districts here. I think that'll be valuable for us. So we're going to give that a go. Only 9... turns. I think we have quite a few wonder producing resources. Yeah, we've got 4 marble stacking up, 10% production towards constructing wonders, so that's awesome. I think 100% of that marble, though, is coming from trade routes. Yeah, 2 of it's coming from Roma, so don't sleep on those trade routes. I've been trading with everyone as much as I can. Those resources are really, really good for us. We are using our 11th settlement in our settlement limit to settle right next to this natural wonder. Huzzah, Hangzhou is down. There's going to be so much food. Oh my goodness. We settled our second city, so we did get the expansionist attribute point. For those of you disappointed that I missed it in the Antiquity Age video, I'm sorry, but I hope this makes up for it. Production towards settlers, look at us go. I love the resources, but I am going to be taking these 6 food and 3 culture, please. Thank you very much. I've also got this settler right here. Going to settle somewhere around these resources. On this side isn't so bad, maybe over here, but we got to get rid of Anakenna first, I think. All right, we finally have our, menagerie and pavilion. Now, there's a lot of good tiles to put this on. I wanted to build one out here, though, next to the wonder, so at least I was making use of the wonder, and then build my ageless buildings kind of off to the side over here was what I had in mind. So the menagerie is going to be a little worse than I want it to be, but once that's done, I can finally build my kind of saw pit and whatever over on this tile, kind of out of the way from the good adjacencies. That is definitely, that's one that already had 40 yields though. Never mind. Never mind. Everything's fine. You're going to go to the distant lands and meet the new civs that we can trade with because you're a trading unit. We got a 10 happiness menagerie going down here, which is incredible. That's more celebrations. That's more overbuilding production. That's more gold if we choose that. Things are going very well. I still don't want to leave Sparta behind, though. Let's grab Sparta a menagerie to get some of that happiness up. This isn't such a bad place for it. We'll go right here. Our first treasure fleet has spawned. It's going to be giving us 2 treasure fleet resources, I believe. And so we can just bring that back to our mainland kind of coast here. These units can be destroyed. So if you're at war, you got to be careful. You want to make sure your treasure fleets are not going to get destroyed along the way. But we can bring it over here. It's going to give us gold and also, however many treasure fleet points towards the economic legacy path. Oh no, the AI built Tomb of Askia. How sad. I knew we'd get beaten to it. That's what we get for not having a high amount of culture. And we got flooded. How rude. What a rude turn this game has presented us with. That's okay, though. We must overcome. We still need to grow to get to this Shwedagon Zedida tile. Let's get the kiln while we're waiting, though, because that'll give us the extra wonder production we are looking for. All right, let's get this pavilion. I'll put it down over here for the +11. Once our kind of capital city name returns to us, I can finally buy some ageless buildings over here. That's another 40 yield tile after that building went down. I'm sure the 11 culture had something to do with it, which is awesome. I'm just going to keep grabbing the 6 food, 3 culture, if that's all right, in Hangzhou. I think that's going to be my plan until I have all 4 of those tiles. We can finally, these are really good tiles. The grist mill, the sawmill, we really want these. We can finally get them kind of out here next to all this stuff and away from the wonders that have good adjacencies. We've come around the back of Xerxes here and we've met Himiko as our first of 2 distant land civilizations. I have no, stake in the game of being happy or sad with you. I have no intention of coming over to the distant lands and kind of destroying everyone just yet. That might be a late age play for us. I think we're doing fine on the science legacy path right now without coming in and ruining anyone's life, so I think that's okay. These barbs were just hanging out and having a good time, and now they're being attacked from the sea and from the land with an army commander and a bunch of cavalry units. That's just so rude of us. It's really just so mean of us. We're still keeping up with traditions. You know, I don't want to, I guess losing 15 science per turn now wouldn't be so bad. We have 340. I'm still keeping up with the traditions, though. We're still doing okay. All right, sorry, Anakana, I don't know. You had to go, though. You just simply had to go. We needed room for this settler. I apologize for any inconvenience. Once your trade fleet is in any kind of coastal tile here that is within your original continent's borders, you can just click unload cargo. It's going to give me the 2 treasure fleet points. It's going to give me some gold. If we come and take a look here, it says we have 2 treasure fleet points along this path, which is awesome. So the more cities we have with treasure fleet resources, the more treasure fleets we will gain, the quicker we can get them back to the mainland, etc., etc., etc. And for that, we are gaining a free economic attribute point. So how rad is that? We can go down 2 gold for every active trade route. Why not? Jay Rizzler, Jose Rizal. You know what? Just because your name is Jay Rizzler, I'm going to spend the 20 on you. I'm going to spend the 20 on you, Jay Riz. An 8 culture pavilion. Don't mind if I do. We are slamming down these adjacencies in the best way possible. I'm going to go for the wharf and the shipyard in Bach. That way we can connect to some of these towns that are going to start giving us a lot of food soon. Especially Hangzhou, who's just going to have a ton of food from this wonder, if not for anything else. 2 science on gold buildings and 2 gold on science buildings. It seems like a good way to get a lot of yields on tiles here. Sorry, Miracles of the Twins. I don't need you right now. You'll be going in soon, though, because you're a tradition, but that's going to be great. Only 2 40 yield tiles left, everybody. We got this. We can get 1 tradition slot or 1 culture for every settlement following our religion. Considering I'm taking the lazy religion route this time around because we're really science heavy right now and we're doing great without the religion, I'll go for the tradition slot. Now, the problem with that is it doesn't only hold traditions. It's also a policy slot, so we still got to keep up with all of the traditions here to make sure we have it. And that's all of them. We've unlocked all the traditions. So every other policy slot is going to cost us 15 science per turn, which is maybe not ideal. Oh, no, we have 1 left. We have 1 left. Sorry, these colors are a little confusing. We got 1 left. So we got 1 more policy card slot left before we're losing 15 per turn. Now, before you comment, but surely at this point, losing 15 per turn is worth it for some of the other good policy cards you can put in and unlock. Yes, it is. However, we're having fun. We're role-playing. You know, Civ doesn't need to be that serious. We're going to lose science for having, you know, civics in. I don't want to lose science. Let's see if we can do it with traditions. Remember to have fun playing Civ. Civ is a game that's fun to play. You're not trying to min-max everything all the time. You know, it is fun when big numbers go burr. It's also fun to kind of role play the Civ and like have a good time with its abilities. Another coastal town going down. Feels really good. Guangzhou. We're going to get this treasure fleet resource, but then we're going to go heavy into food. We'll work our way down to these resources as well here. We want lots of food in Guangzhou, though, because it's gonna be giving it to Bach. 3 migrants at the cost of 62 culture, which is like, you know, 1/5 of a... 1/10? No, 1/5 of a turn? Whatever this is. Math is hard. Anyways, 3 migrants. A migrant will add a rural population to any place on the map. So now I can just send them all to Guangzhou and kind of get out towards all these resources really easily. Yeah, everyone head to Guangzhou. The quicker that can be foodified and giving food to the capital and getting all these resources, the better. And easy peasy, because we're coming out to the T first, so we'll do that. I mean, the gold is quite nice. T first for the treasure fleet resource, and then migrant will get us the 2 important resources here. Incense only gives us production towards missionaries and temples, and I don't really care about that in this game. So we'll come down here, get these 2, and then we'll start sending food to Bach. We are currently over our settlement limit by 1. We are incurring a happiness penalty for that. I normally wouldn't want to go over my settlement limit too often here. I don't love a happiness penalty. I love getting celebrations, but it does mean we're not accruing policy card slots that lose us science at the moment. Where is our next settlement limit coming from, though? At some point, we're going to have to kind of tune in here and start grabbing more before all the land gets taken up. I'm actually going to send one of these migrants to Sparta to get the Shwedagon Zedida tile because I'm an idiot and accidentally built this farm here to get these 2 resources, forgetting that the whole game plan was to build Shwedagon right here. We can now purchase a hospital for 7 food, though, and growth is growth, so I think we're going to do that. And once we purchase this hospital, it gives us the Shwedagon Zedida tile, so that's perfect. Can you build the Shwedigon Zedida now? You certainly can. All right, that'll be next up after the university, so that's perfect. Machu Picchu. I guess this is an old, maybe Incan spelling of Machu Picchu. I'm not sure exactly. Anyways, Great Wonder. It's going to go on a great tile here for us if we can grab it. Separately, that's also next to a whole bunch of districts, which is awesome. Its ability, again, if we can grab it, we've struggled with that part of it so far, is 2 resource capacity. So anything that increased resources capacity, we really like. 4 culture and gold on all buildings adjacent to this wonder. There's a lot of buildings adjacent to this wonder that's going to pop off, so hopefully that goes through for us. We stole 120 culture and our spy remained hidden. Hell yeah, brother. Good work. I'm saving up our influence, though. We found another culture city-state over here, Vatican City. I think it's worth double dipping on the cultural bonuses in this age, so we're going to do that. We are going to chuck our Carrick into our fleet commander. We're just killing a barb over here. And then we're going to use our fleet commander to see all the rest of the land. I'm trying to unlock some cities over here for us to trade with, but they are all too far out of range, which is not ideal. So we're going to have to try and figure out a solution. I can't believe this actually worked. We made it out towards this gold, which is awesome. Still a long way for us to grow to get that gold, but I do really want it. You know, anytime you can get any kind of gold bonus towards buying buildings, it's certainly worth having. I can't really say no to any +5 food in Uxmal. We can yeah, I mean, at some point, you've got to start sending that food to a city. I think that's now. Let's get you to be a fishing town that just adds so much more food. That's 52 food. You're sending... Where are you sending? Are you not sending it anywhere? You are directly connected to Bach. That would be so weird if you weren't sending it anywhere. There we go. It's going half and half Bach to Sparta. So it just takes a second to update. That's perfect. 26 more to Sparta, 26 to Bach. I think that's perfect for us. Separately, though, 168 gold for a bunch of Ming Great Walls. I'm not going to say no to that. That's a lot of culture we're leaving on the table by not getting those. Same everywhere, really. I think we just grab the Ming Great Walls, especially in places we know aren't going to become cities, because then I don't need to worry about overbuilding on these later or trying to get rid of them because they're ageless or whatever. There's no reason not to get them down. The migrant growth strat is awesome because we are going to grow down towards... Oh, do we want the gypsum? We don't have any distant land cities yet. Then we come down for the furs. Happiness in the capital and plus 10% gold in a celebration is going to be great, so we'll do that. We'll grow again onto the furs, which is awesome. And I think we have a growth event anyway. Yeah, the city grew this turn anyway, so we will grab the Cowlin as well. This settlement is not connected to our empire's trade network, though. How interesting. Is it too many tiles away from this wharf? So Mediolanum is connected. I just went and turned on its food focus, and it is connected to Wack Cabnal, so that is working. So what is the range on that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a lot. It's a big range. Longer than this range. So do you need a water building as well? You have a fishing key. Oh, I guess it's Guangzhou. It's Guangzhou that would need the fishing key. That's what it is. We need a water building, maybe? Let's buy a fishing key. We know we're going to want one because of all the fishing boats anyway. So now that you have a fishing key, are you connected to the trade network? Yes! So the problem was the fishing key. It's now connected. We just need to wait until a new resource is acquired. So the problem was it's got to be on the coast, but it needs a coastal building, a fishing key, a wharf, whatever it is to connect. That's great. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I mean, I wish the UI would tell me literally any of that. However, we figured it out on our own. We're smart people. We did it, Machu Picchu. What's great about building a wonder in the city from the Mayan age is that we now have that production every time we finish a tech, and it's just so powerful. This is going to be the most amount of culture on tiles ever. Oh my god. Look, oh, 15 culture, 8 culture, 8 culture, 20. Because it's 4 per building, and there's some of these have 2 buildings in them. Yeah, incredible. This might be the best Machu Picchu I'm ever going to build in this video game, and we're so early on in its development cycle too. Holy shit. So now Hangzhou is not connected, but no stress. We'll get that fishing key, and then I'll be able to get this pearls into a city for now, which is awesome. This genuinely might be the greatest wonder I've ever built. Oh my god. There's a lot of good buildings I could build that I'm going to, but I do want to show off the religion. You might be playing this game, you might be going for a religion focus. If anything, missionaries make good scouts. They have great movement. They can get over to the distant lands. They just have open borders, kind of like the merchants, so we can kind of just go around and kind of check things out. And so it's a great way to scout the distant lands, even if you don't care about the religion aspect so much. I'm already circling back for some kind of easy techs here. +1 production on camps and woodcutters is great. We have lots of those. +1 happiness on happiness buildings. This is where I'm using my judgment. I know we're going to get to the end of the tree really easily. We have way more science than we need. So I want to circle back and gain as much benefit from this production and this food and stuff as possible. I guess in this case it's production and happiness, but these yields only last this age. So the quicker we get these, the more effect I'll get from those yields, which is awesome for us. Vatican, for a non-religious game, I am pretty into Susing the Vatican City, but hey, who can judge me? Treasure fleet coming in? Hell yeah, brother. So you can see at this point, this is what happened when we had a good base of operations. We had a good base of operations from work from, and we have had an easy breezy, beautiful cover girl exploration age, right? That was the goal of the Antiquity Age. Get us set up for success. We set ourselves up for success. Now we have it, and we are absolutely cruising past the AI. We are scaling really, really well. It's lots of science, lots of culture, much more than the AI have, which is great. That might not be the case in your games. Maybe you're closer to them. Maybe they're closer to you, but we're trying to like take this opportunity to pull ahead here that we didn't have in the Antiquity Age. This is also a really good illustration of why Confucius Maya is such a good start and why I recommend it to new players. It just gives you a little bit of everything you need to set you up for success. It gives you science, it gives you culture opportunities, it just gives you production opportunities every single time you finish a tech. It just gives you so much good base stuff to use in a game of Civ that I can't recommend it enough. I'm itching for a little more settlement limit. There's also some really great wonders. El Escorial is incredible. There's a couple of other good ones down at the back that I'd really like. Settlement limit is a priority for me as well. El Escorial is a great wonder if we can build it and it unlocks settlement limit, so we're going to come down here. Oh, look at this distant land city. This is why we're itching for that settlement limit. We're able to, like, they don't have it and we can get it, and they haven't even kind of moved over here yet. Oh my god. What I love so much about the Age of Exploration is that it just really feels like all of these opportunities are opening up via the exploration. Like, it feels like the game is expanding in a really you know what? I like Civ 7, and I know that's not the popular opinion right now, but I genuinely just have so much fun playing this game. So, friends, I just learned right now that even though the Great Wall is ageless, you can build over it. So all that worrying I did earlier, it's for nothing. Again, one of the cool things about playing Civ 7 is we are all learning together. I can definitely teach you how to get through an exploration age. I don't know the ins and outs of every single mechanic though. So much like you, when you get into your Civ games and you're learning, I'm learning as well. And this is a great time for us to experiment together. So even though this says ageless, it is an ageless thing that can be removed. And I wish they had a different term for that compared to the ageless things that can't. But alas, I'll just chuck the temple right in the city center. It's fine. I'm just trying to stack up the happiness. That's all I want. I want my people to be happy. Yeah, I think a 7 science, 6 culture, 4 gold, 1 production, 1.5 food is a good tile. I don't know if you think it's a good tile, but we have the happiness, we have the food. Yeah, is that the golden age? Is that a bunch of 40 yield tiles? Oh my god, we finished that early. Holy smokes. All right, good work. So again, we came into the age. We saw that science was going to be the easy one for us. We prioritized it. We went there. We haven't even had to faff about with the distant lands at all to accomplish the rest of this. Now what we're going to try and do is if we can get multiple kind of all the way to the golden ages just for the points, that's great. Let's try and get our treasure fleets to kind of the first or the second bonus. That feels really achievable. Let's get enough relics to get to the first bonus here at least for those 2 points. That feels really achievable. There's still some stuff we can do here. We're only 44% of the way through the age. All right, we have our missionary. Now, to acquire relics, we are going to have to go into cities in the distant lands. So we'll head there first. Once we kind of start flipping the cities and changing them to our religion, I'll illustrate how that process works. I almost want to kill him just for this gold here. Like, I just want to keep hoarding the gold. I wish I could trade, though. I wish I could trade with Stung Trang to get this gold here, but we're just not close enough. It's not connecting. Maybe if we get a settlement up here, it'll connect. That'll be my next focus. I'm bringing the army commander to kind of hold this area for us, so at least we can get a proper mainland distant land settlement. All right, now that we have collected this fish, that's going to be another 5 food. I'm going to switch this to a fishing town. Well, there's a lot more we could do here. At some point, we just need to get all this food from this natural wonder and send it over to Box. So let's make sure that is working. We'll check soon. We'll check soon to make sure it's actually sending its food somewhere. That'll be next turn. But hopefully that's close enough to connect. We can also get a 7 happiness temple, as seeing as we are hoarding gold. I can't think of another use for it other than in these wonderful towns here. Getting more food, making sure they are heavy contributors to the empire, which is amazing. So we're going to come spend our gold in some of our towns. I'm thinking about another city, but I don't think it's going to be Guangzhou. It might be Guangzhou in the next age. We might want to make a city depending on how the resources shake out. But I really want another city over here, a proper, true distant land city. We just need the settlement limit. Just before we start kind of spreading our religion and collecting relics for doing so, relics in this age are going to give us 2 culture and 2 happiness, and they need to be put inside temples. You can get temples in your towns and your cities, so it's kind of 1 relic per settlement kind of thing. There are a few other ways to get some relic spaces, but mostly it's going to be through these temples. You can also choose a town focus of a religious site, which adds a relic slot to the temple in that town if you're short on slots and just need a place to put your relics. I feel like a 5 production stonecutter is something worth buying with all of our hoarded gold at the moment, so that's going to be great. I want to keep all of my ageless buildings together, and we know we're not going to be improving farms. This is more of a mining town, so that's fine. I'll chuck the saw. I can't chuck the sawmill over there. Nah, the sawmill's got to go on a river. Anyways, we're going to put the Great Wall down, though, because it's sick. No, the Rizzler's over here. Oh my goodness. I don't need the next celebration that bad. I need the culture. We need that settlement limit in 2. Okay, 2 turns and we're gaining a settlement limit. That puts us back at even. But I think we're close enough to it that I want to buy this settler. Good use of our gold. And I want to get a proper settlement going over in the distant lands. That should also allow us to trade with Stung Trang. So hopefully that'll work out for us. The Shwedagon Zedida is down. You should build it if for no other reason than it sounds sick as hell. Oh my goodness. Look at this, everybody. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, hell yeah. There it is. Look at that. 2 science on all rural tiles in this city. I mean, it's not the city I really wanted to go with, but there's still quite a few tiles that it's helping. Funnily enough, it seems to have added the science to urban tiles and not rural ones? Question mark, question mark? Maybe it needs to update next turn? I don't know what's going on. I do know that I want 8.5 science and 8 culture, though. And we already have enough 40 yield tiles for the goal, so we don't need to spam separate 40 yield tiles. You can see, though, that if you're wondering what your specialist limit does, it says +1 specialist limit in cities. It means the amount of specialists you can stack on the same tile. If you had any doubt where I was going to put that wildcard attribute point we got from the Shwedagon Zedida, it's that 5% science repeatable, absolutely. We finally have a missionary in Pahu. So here's how flipping your religion works. Now, this is a simple system, and it's not my favorite system. And to me, it just feels like tedium, which is why I don't do it every game unless I am trying to go down that culture path. So you need to come to the city. You need to press spread religion on an urban tile, which will be the city center here, and on a worked rural tile, so a farm or a woodcutter, something that's worked. So we'll spread it here. You'll see that one of the 2, the urban kind of section of the city, will now follow our religion, and then next turn we will get the rural section caught up. Once they're both following our religion, then we'll get our relic. We'll do the same in Palembang. I'm not going to show you this every time because they don't have any rural tiles. I just got to flip it in 1, which is awesome. You see we got our free relic. This is the first time this city in the distant lands has been converted, and so we're getting that relic, and that's how we're going to collect them all. It seems that El Escorial has already been built. How sad. I downloaded the search mod, though. I wonder if it lets me search wonders. No, it doesn't. No, I know it does like units and whatnot, but not wonders. Let's try this out, though. Camel? Yeah, it just searches all the camel on the map really easily. Look at that. Awesome. Gold. Yep. Highlights all the gold tiles. How fun. Or districts that give us or golden age academies. That's also really funny. Cool stuff. Great mod. So now we are on a worked rural tile. So we'll do that. There we go. We got our relic, which is awesome. So now we have 3 relics. Just a casual 25 science tile with a specialist hanging out in Sparta, if you were wondering how things are going there. We can choose our city-state bonus, though, for getting Monte Alban. So we are going to be the Sioux of 2 culture city-states. So each type of city-state starts with 5 options, right? And they go in a pool. And so once we take one of these, there'll only be 4 left for our next selection. And then once we take 2 of them, if someone else chooses another culture city-state, there will only be the remaining 3 left. So if you're wondering why we have more options now than the next time, that's the reason. I think for now we will take the free relic. That's a lie. Let's take the production towards oh, this is temples. I thought it was wonders. Never mind. Screw that. Production towards temples. Eat my shorts. I wouldn't mind the stonehead, but we have the Ming wall, and that's already giving us a ton of culture. So I'll go culture buildings receive culture for every city state where the Sioux of. That's what is that 2 culture per turn per culture building. That's not so bad. I don't know what we'll spend it on, but I think at this point we've overbuilt most of the overbuildable tiles. So we'll take the 20% gold and kind of see what happens. I still really don't want to lose the 15 science per turn. It's probably worth it for gold and happiness on it. It's worth it. It'll be minus 15 science per turn, but plus like, you know, 10 gold and happiness. So I think that'll be good overall. I really hated doing that. I just want you to know that I hated doing that. For some godforsaken reason, and it's because it's connected to the water, because they built a fishing key, I can trade with Yashodapura, but not any of the closer cities in between. I mean, I'll still take it. This is great for us, but a lot of this is strategic resources we're not really going to use. The jade is going to be nice. It's not the one I wanted. Let's see if we can get some improved trade relations here. I'll go for a research collab. I really do want to trade with a city that gives me a little more gold if I can. In any case, I'm going to save all this gold for when this becomes a city here, so we can just buy all the buildings it needs right away. I read in a game guide somewhere that that was kind of their intention, why they give you so much gold in the game, is to allow you to kind of really build up a city very quickly. We're also going to want to do that because we need to expand our borders, and doing that via buildings will be quite nice. I'm going to pre-build some settlers here just for when we next have capacity to settle cities. There's still tons of good stuff to settle over here. There's maybe another good settle somewhere in here later. It doesn't seem like we're going to have to destroy anybody this age. We'll definitely show off warfare in the modern age because it's quite fun. But I think we'll be okay not fighting anyone this age. At some point, there's not much to build but the research and cultural initiatives. I'm going to go cultural initiative. That'll give us 25% of our production as culture, which isn't so bad at the moment, so we'll just kind of run through that. I've built a bunch of missionaries that I'm just sending over. It's going to take 10 turns for them to get to cities they can flip, but we are still collecting relics, so don't worry. Wailuku has flipped. That's another relic. How many do we have? We have 4 relics. What is the first margin here? Oh my god, 6 relics, then 7, 8, 9 relics, then 12. All right. We're definitely not going to get the treasure fleet one, though. We still only have like 4 points coming in every, 8 or 9 turns. And the new city we're settling is going to have great science buildings between 3 resources here. Some great food buildings near the coast, but just unfortunately is probably not going to have a lot of treasure fleet resources, other than this one here. But it's connected via the river, which is nice. That's a lie. This isn't a navigable river. It'll be connected when we put a fishing key down, because that's how we connect things on the water. All right, we are settling. Now, it isn't ideal. Non-sufficient or be 3 tundra settlements will give us Russia in the next stage as an option. It is not ideal to not have, or to have our borders so close. A lot of our cities going to have to expand this way. In your cities, you do kind of want to have the maximum amount of space. However, that's not possible for us, so we're going to take the space we can get. We are going to buy out in this direction. We saved all of our gold. I'm going to convert you to a city right away. We're not faffing about. You're becoming a city right away for 1,000 gold. I'm immediately going to temple here. Menagerie on top of that. Double happiness building. That puts us out to the science buildings where this observatory can go. So that's great. That's 8 science there. Good. Now, over in this direction, I can build a bazaar, which will allow me to grow again. Now I can grow towards the silver and take those borders, so that's quite nice. And then I'm going to buy a ageless grist mill, mayhaps? Maybe just a kiln? I don't need the kiln to be amazing. Let's put the kiln right there. That'll take these tiles up. And we still have 1,000 gold. This is where all the gold is coming in, because it's making these buildings so freaking cheap. Yeah, I think a 9 science university is quite good. I think this was the play, everybody. I think just building up the entire industrial complex of our city. I'll put this over here just to, rub it in. In 1 turn with all of that hoarded gold was incredible. New strat, who this? I'll take this influence. We have enough science to get through where we're going. We're pretty close to the future tech anyway. Another thing that might be appealing, depending on how your game is going, is building medieval walls. Not only will they give you defense in this age, remember they also give you like half their defense in the next age. So it is good to do that if you're struggling a little more or you have wars you're fighting, just to make sure your cities are nice and comfy. I've left one of the best ones for last. +1 food on all of our food buildings and fishing boats is going to be insane. And then we're rolling into future tech. It's going to end the age earlier. It's going to give us those wild card attribute points. But we're ahead enough of the AI that we are comfortable with that. Nobody else even has 100 science, and we have 547. So I think it's going okay for us. So I've just come back to Hangzhou after a couple of turns, and its food is going nowhere. Why is it not connected to anything? It has a fishing key. The fishing key's not broken. It's on the water. It's got a fishing key. Is it because it goes through Guangzhou's fishing key and then over to Bach? Or does it connect wharf to wharf and fishing key to fishing key? So this has a wharf here, and it's connected to this fishing key, so that's not it. Why are you not connected? Oh my god, this game's UI just drives me up the wall sometimes. Holy smokes. Okay, well, if it's not going to connect, I need it to grow itself then. But we need to figure out why it's not connecting, because I feel like I did that properly for sure. I think the answer must be, like, when it draws its route. Like, I know for a fact that it can't go through another town, which is why getting this road to Khan was so important, because it couldn't go through and around, right? I've worried that the way it draws its line, it goes from this fishing key across the coast, through this one, and then across to here, which makes no sense, but that must be how it's doing it. Or else I just can't see a reason why it wouldn't connect. Especially when Guangzhou is, like, this Guangzhou is connecting. So one of these two is connecting. Now, this might be a fun test. If I make this a city, this will just connect to Guangzhou instead. Oh, it's hard to test this then. Oh my goodness. All right, we can test this again though, because we can make this a fishing town, which I'm not even sure I want to do, but just for the memes, we're going to do that. Now, Fuzzhu, are you connected to Bach? No, you're not connected to Bach. Are you connected to Wat Cabnal? You are connected to Wat Cabnal. So you're just connecting through here and taking it all, but you're not actually connecting to Bach. So now it leads me to believe that even though these are both like equally distant, you know what I mean? They'll both, if any of one is going to connect, they'll both connect. It leads me to believe that coastal towns or towns connected over water with like the fishing key and whatnot can only go to one other town. It doesn't explain this one up here, but that's what it's leading me to believe. Anyways, we are going to create a farming town here as well. There are a couple of resources I'd like, but I don't need the camels right now. We haven't accrued enough resources for the camels to be helpful, so just getting Sparta a little more food from Guilin is great. We're going to take that free relic, because why not? That's going to give us a little boost towards our culture path here, and that's going to be helpful because now we don't really have many options left before we got to go into the future tech and kind of get the age progressing here. Oh no, we've got another social policy slot. I mean, some of these are really good, and we can almost certainly afford to lose another 15 science per turn, can't we? Constitution would be the real winner here because we have so many specialists. I don't want to lose another 15 science, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right, imperialism is next. 4 turns, it's another settlement limit. So that'll put us up to even. I think we can stay 1 over, though. I've not been too fussed being 1 over. I'd love to pick up this gold. Oh, my goodness. There's so many good places to settle still. I mean, look at this down here. The AI just does not have enough gold to keep up with the settlement limit. And so that's making it a little easy. One of the things that's also worth doing that I haven't really done yet, that I probably should be doing, is all of these resources that give you more production and more food for distant land cities we can now use because we have a distant land city, right? We didn't until a turn or two ago. So it's good to come back now next time we unlock a resource so we can kind of figure with this menu, and then we can come in and move some resources around. You might still want to keep the 3 production in the capital or whatever, but just to maximize the total yields of the empire, shoving some of this gypsum and some of this kaolin into the distant land city now might be more worth it for us. Is this going to be our first economic path? Yeah, there we go. We got one. 3 treasure fleet points. We did get one. Look at that, baby. We can build a 4-turn Borobudur, 2 food and happiness on quarters like that. You know how many quarters we have? You know how much food and happiness that is? We are absolutely doing that. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes. So now in Sparta, we have the same considerations that we had in some of our cities at the end of the last stage. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all of these buildings. I might be able to. I have the gold. I might just buy them kind of closer to the end so we maintain the adjacency bonuses in the next stage. However, it's good to know if we're not going to have them all, do we want some of the food ones? Do we want some of the gold ones? Some of the culture ones? It's kind of good to pick our buildings here to see what is it do I want? What base adjacency or what base yield do I want to carry over to the next era? The pavilion will give me 7 now, but do I want to carry that 5 over into the next age, etc., etc.? So it's good to start thinking about these things. We know the age is going to rush from 57 to 100 a lot quicker than it took to get to 57. All right, I've bought some buildings out to this now so I can get a fishing key down. Now what I'm wondering is if I put the fishing key down here, I don't love this ageless gristmill, but I'm gonna try and get a wonder in here next to all of these adjacencies. Anyways, if I put a fishing key there, I wonder if Hangzhou will connect all the way around to Baiping. No, it's connecting to Fuzhou. So now Fuzhou is splitting. So Fuzhou is sending its food half to Wat Cabnal and half to Baiping, but it's not connecting in any way to Hangzhou. Why is this? You have a fishing key. You have 50 food. It needs to go somewhere, man. Oh my god. What is going on? What is this madness? The madness of Hangzhou. It's not sending its food anywhere. What is wrong with you, Hangzhou? Or if I buy you a granary and a stonecutter, does that do something? Is that helpful? I might need to make Guangzhou a city just so Hangzhou has something to do with all this frickin' food. All right, well, keep growing yourself then. Oh my god. I'm going to send that one into Carl and see if he knows what's going on. In happier news, we are still abusing the hell out of specialists with this strategy, which is wonderful. I'll take 8 science and the extra gold. Why not? We have some more really good trade routes available now, so finally, now that we have a city, our kind of merchants that are over here are going to be a little more useful for us. I'm actually going to buy one here. I want to mess around with the road system and see what I can do with that. I don't think I can connect any of this to the kind of other cities. I think it's only to your own, but that might be interesting. Maybe that's the problem with Hangzhou, is we need to connect like a naval road. Maybe they'll pour concrete in the deep ocean until we can connect that route. Borobudur, Borobudur.
And no doubt,
oh my god, what a great wonder.
no being,
That's
no
going to be a
knowledge.
lot of yields on quarters, and we got a lot of quarters, so this is a good deal. This is another example, if you're kind of learning Civ, just, you know, you have a lot of quarters, you see a wonder that gives you stuff for your quarters. You know, a lot of times this game can be really complicated, but a lot of times it's really simple. You can just find things like this that are going to be good for things you already have, and that's a great way to go about making decisions in Civ. All right, I can collect a bunch more resources. I'm pretty dedicated. I don't need the training towards units. I don't need the horses right now. I'm pretty freaking committed to maximum food here. And I want to find a way for this to connect to a goddamn city. It's still not connecting anywhere. That's sad. Can I make a water road? I can make no such water road. There is no road connection available. Well, this was a waste of money. All right, go to Hangzhou and see if you can make, I don't know. I'm just trying to connect it, man. Anything that'll make it work. Another good thing to keep in mind is when something is pointless and when it's not. At this point, getting this one treasure fleet resource is not going to help us win this game. You know, we're not going to get enough treasure fleet points for it to make a meaningful difference. I'd rather just take the happiness in the capital and 10% culture when we're in a celebration to kind of push us through this culture tree for the rest of the age. We're trying to unlock settlement limit. We're trying to get as many settlements down as possible. So wherever we see settlement is a place we want to go. So as much culture as possible is amazing. We did it. We got the gold. That's even cheaper buildings. What is stacking now? Yeah, so that's every dollar or every gold we spend on buildings actually counts for 1 gold 80, which is incredible. Good stuff. We can now finally convert you to a fishing town and get your food going. And it's going to connect to Wat Cabnal, isn't it? It sure is. All 60 of it. By God, this makes no frackin' Sid Meier sense. I'm also so aware that in a tutorial video, I shouldn't be breaking down about a core game mechanic. It kind of ruins the credibility, but this one is genuinely boggling my mind. I'm 250 hours into this game or whatever, and I just have no explanation for why this isn't connecting. You know what I do know how to do, though? I do know how to abuse the specialists for lots of yield. Let's go max culture. They're all 2? All right, well, if they're all 2 anyway, we'll go for that one. Have at least 4 trade routes with unique civs. We've unlocked Mughal in the next age, so that'll be fun. It's time for our first little bit of specialization. 9 science, 2 culture. Hell yeah, we'll take that. The specialists stay age over age now, so these specialists are a good investment for the next age. All right, we're adding 10 to the age score, 59 to 64%. Wow. I'm gonna keep building missionaries, though. I do want to spread our religion and get as many relics as possible. For that wild card policy point, you know where I'm putting it. Plus 5% total science repeatable. We go again into future tech. I'm going to try and steal a Civic just for a little bit of extra culture. So we'll see how that goes with Xerxes. The homies, Jay, Riz, and Himiko are happy with me, though. So I want to keep them happy with me. What does open the gates mean? Destroy the defenses of a district. Jesus. Okay, let's not do that. Let's get more trade routes going over here. I want to keep trading with the homies over on this end. I got a lot of units that I was using that I can't build roads with. So I'm going to have to send them back to do something helpful. All right, this should be our 9th relic, yes? Yeah, it is our 9th relic. There we go, everybody. So we're pushing points here. You know, getting good through the culture one, finish the science one. We might get to the second military one if we keep settling distant land cities. We have another settlement limit coming up. I have another settler kind of pre-planned. Where did it go? It was just down here. That's a lie. It was just down here. Wrong continent. Anyways, I have a settler kind of pre-planned, ready to go for a giant modern age city right here. But we'll see how that goes. And we have our crisis. Oh, if it's the happiness crisis, I will scream. Beyond this mortal realm lies another. So citizens of the world believe. Through prayer and rites, sacred books, and holy places, they venerate the divine in their own ways. Is this the... Oh, what is this? Crisis policy slot unlocks religious tolerance crisis policy. Unhappy settlements following another player's religion can go into unrest. Oh, it is the happiness one. Oh, well, they're both the same. Religious zeal. Unhappy settlements following another player's religion can go into unrest. So what is the... Let's just accept all faiths. What is the difference? +8 happiness in settlements that do not follow your religion. Oh, well, that's good because I haven't flipped. So this is not a crisis at all. This is just giving me +8 happiness in all my settlements. I don't know if that was intended, but none of my settlements follow my religion, so that's just a great deal. Yeah, what a win. What a win for VanBradley, everybody. That's how you play Civ. You wanted to know how to play Civ. Just wait for the crisis. It's actually a good thing after all. I think another specialist will do the trick. Just start slamming them up. I think a smarter VB would stop getting specialists for science because then we'll get through the tech tree too quickly before we get all of our settlement limit. But I have a feeling we can rally with culture. +1 happiness on all our specialists is incredible. Production and gold are nice, but in the modern age, just celebration after celebration would be ideal. We're about to get a ton of culture for being in a celebration, and let's just start hoarding gold. I'll go gold on gold adjacency. That's a lot of gold for us, and that weakens our science by 15 again. It's a bit of a weird state to be in where I want to weaken our science by 15, but hey, you know what? That's okay. Yeah, there's no creating a road over the ocean. If you were wondering, is it possible to create a road over the ocean? It shan't be possible in this game. I already have one going to Pataliputra, so I guess whatever. Just run across the... Whatever. You're useless now. You're just a unit in the ocean now. All right, new settlement limit and receive a relic. And the House of Wisdom will give us 3 relics and 3 relic slots. So we definitely want to try building that, which we should have no problem doing. And we'll build it in the capital, in and amongst all these amazing districts. Yeah, this is the spot right here, baby. That's the spot right there. All of our modern age buildings are going to fit within what we already got. House of Wisdom going down. Yo, it's going to give me more happiness than it takes away? Bruh. Yeah, sign me up for that. Awesome. I get a free relic in theology. No. We need settlement limit. +1 settlement limit right here. Unique tree. That's awesome. We also could get the Forbidden City, but I don't really care about the Forbidden City. All right, new settlement limit. We have a couple of options. We can just settle the city down here, which we should probably do because the settler's ready. So we're just going to settle this city right down here. It's a town for now. It's going to Mediolanum, which is going to... But that's not how the roads work. So in the modern age, we'll have to connect a road. But for now, it's fine because... Yeah, we'll grow it this way. Because the modern age is coming and we don't need to connect it till then. It's got to grow to 7 pop anyway. So that's all good. Now, while we're waiting 2 turns for another settlement limit, I definitely want to settle over either on this river right here or right over here. Now, I'd love to have literally anything Hangzhou can connect to, but I don't envision this being a city. I think something in the middle here to take up this space might feel best, so I think we're going to do that. Now, I know if we have a few thousand gold going into the age transition, it'll carry over. If we hoard like 20,000, it's going to kind of squeeze us back to 6,000 or 8,000 or whatever. So I'm not too stressed about hoarding a little more gold. I don't need to spend it all. Yo, our homie declared war on us. What is wrong with you? All right. Now we're going to get +2 because we have Gate of All Nations. Yeah, +2. All right. Where are you? With what army are you declaring war on us? Where is your army? Is it one boat? All right, I'm going to wait a turn, see where his army comes from, and then I'm just going to buy an army where I need it. I'm not going to lie to you, it may have been a better strategy to prepare a little more for war, considering just how far ahead we are. However, I don't think this is really his only hope. He's got 34 science. He's got like 2 cities. I'm just going to build a couple galleons and take his capital via the ocean, and that'll be that. And then he'll regret ever messing with us. If he had watched my Civ tutorials, he would know never to mess with VB. That's the #1 rule of Civ 7, is don't mess with VB. Another note here on spreading your religion, you cannot spread your religion on holy cities. So any city that created the religion of other civilizations, like Cahokia, you can't, so we just have to move on. Oh, now Xerxes is getting in on the action. Oh my god. Oh, this is a problem. Well, part of the problem, too, is we were trading some good resources with them. Okay, well, we got some horses for cavalry upgrades. Infantry and ranged upgrade with the iron. All right, all right, all right. Oh, my God. Okay, they got a big army. But we got the war support. It's possible I regret taking my entire army across the map just to run around in a land where everyone likes me. However, maybe I don't regret it. All right, you're going to come back, Mr. Courser. Where is my army commander? Oh, I do have one right here, so that's good. My second one is napping. My second one is TBA. I don't know where the second one is. I don't know where I sent him. That's okay. That's all good. Let's back you up here, and let's get all these upgrades. That's the first thing we got to do, is upgrade everyone to their maximum awesomeness. That'll give us some good defense strength to start. Next in Uxmal, if we stand on these wall tiles, we're going to get a bunch of defensive strength. So we just need to get onto those wall tiles. Next here, I'm going to buy the best range unit I've got, which is the Arquebusier. So we're going to get an Arquebusier. I'm also going to buy an army commander, just because we probably should have another one to carry through the transition anyway. All right, I built a wharf here. Spent precious wartime gold on a wharf over here, assuming it might be helpful in connecting this, and it was not. It was not helpful. I'm going to let the turn tick over just in case, but it does not appear to have been helpful at all. All right, they're attacking the city. This is not good. This is not good at all, although they're not doing a ton down here in Batavium yet, so that's fine. I'm going to buy another fleet commander down here, and a galleon. And then 2 galleons and a fleet commander are going to go. I guess the galleon's got to come in next turn. Yeah, you can only buy 1 unit per turn. The next galleon and the fleet commander are going to go down here and just start attacking Roma from the sea and see if we can start breaking these infantry units' spirit a little bit. In the meantime, I got a lot of Diplo, though, so let's just add to the war weariness, because all these people deserve to be unhappy forever till the end of time. And I would like the extra combat strength. All right, Arquebusier, or however you pronounce this, start firing. How much extra are we getting here? Just +3 for gunpowder. Are we not getting extra from the iron? Maybe that is the +3, is iron. And they just call it gunpowder because it's a gun unit. No, whatever. Oh, shit, that was cool. All right, the settlers taking heat. We're backing up. Oh, no. Oh, we got to watch our treasure fleets now because they got snakes on the water. They got snakes on the water trying to kill our treasure fleets. How dare they? Now's probably a good time to pick up these horses for a little extra cavalry strength. Oh, they messed with the wrong army commander. Standing on the wall. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, see, these lancers get +8 from the horses, which is incredible. Yeah, and then the Ming wall gives us strength while defending, so if they attack us while we're on the wall, we're going to get a huge kind of boost. Yeah, sorry, homies. You're all going to die. The lancers are just unmatched. Oh, my God. Let's get a... Oh, yeah, you're super dead. I didn't even think that was going to kill you. I think they pulled off maybe a bit more than they could chew here. I'm not going to lie to you. These lancers are going to rock their socks off. I think they messed up. I think they underestimated how many resources we had available. And now they're regretting their life. And their life choices. Another settlement limit in sovereignty will feel good, and social class. So 6 turns. Age is definitely not ending within 6, so that'll be fine. I like the idea of building the Forbidden City. The culture and gold on all fortification buildings is not amazing, but the adjacency is still pretty good. And we got some adjacency stuff going on here with a kill. Oh my god, and on this, yeah. Sorry, we're putting it right there. Sorry, Ming Wall. I'm going to build the Forbidden City in front of their faces while they try and attack me. We found our other army commander. We found him. Everything's fine. If they kill him... If they kill him... then the units will pop out and we'll have to wait like 15 turns to get him back. That's okay, though. That's okay. We get the horses again. Keep making those lancers better. Units gain 3 combat strength against wounded units. Maya coming in clutch from the Antiquity Age. Look at that. All right, we just got to be calm, cool, and collected. The only thing that can go wrong is our mental right now. We got to stay in the game. Whenever you get into a fight in Civ, just stay in the game. It's not over till it's over. I also think we're finishing the culture golden age here once we get the House of Wisdom done here. That is correct. Tasha Kana is done.
Not mix the truth with
the House of Wisdom is done. Oh my goodness. There we go. House of Wisdom is complete. That is the culture golden age. And the next turn will be another 10 age score up to 177 of 200, which would be good for us. Continue the crisis. Are there even any unhappy settlements? I mean, none of our settlements are unhappy because the crisis is actually a blessing for us. I think since we're in the middle of a war, it's in good taste to continue to lance. Uh-oh, you've got a lot of units. Let's get an arquebusier. Just why not? Also, Patavium, can we mining town this? Like, you got to start sending your food to other places, my guy. +4 gold in settlements not following my religion. So it's like 1,000,000 gold. And then -4 happiness in distant land settlements. I guess I'll have to take that. I mean, we got 20 there, 22 there, 25 there. Is that really the worst thing that's ever happened? We can also settle our city here now, which we are going to do. How much happiness are you going to have? I don't think it really matters, though, because I'm just going to buy happiness buildings. So you have 14 just to start. So, I mean, that's fine. We'll get you a temple just to really get that going. So that's fine. We'll get the jade. All good. Get that in a good city. Yeah, good enough. So that's fine there. I think that's the one we're taking then. Yeah, 19, 16. That seems okay to me. We added another 100 gold per turn. Oh, dude, you are so dead. Oh, my God. No one has ever been more dead in the history of living and dying. Oof. Our homie got over here. No, our army commander homie got. So if your army commander gets killed, this is because our map search couldn't find him and we're blind. That's okay, though. If your homie gets killed, just know that he will come back in about 15 turns. So he's not gone forever. We just need a cheeky reverse and upgrade here, and then we'll start lancing him. What I do like about this double war, though, is I like that the AI has realized, hey, we're getting our butt kicked. This guy might win this game. Let's like do something about it. At least that is interesting to me. Like it felt like a good time for this war. Like what else are they going to do? They might even take Patavium here. Because of my unpreparedness, they might actually cause me some real grief here. All right, let's get around here quickly, fleet commander. We got some units to kill. So they got to kill the city defenses and every unit in the city center. So we're still good there because they're not going to be able to kill our homie, I don't think. I'll take this cowl in just for the production right now. We got to get some more units out. Grab another horses for the war effort. Yeah, 1 turn Lancer will help quite a bit. That's all good. Good stuff. Again, we just keep lancing. 1 turn Lancers are the dream here. And we got another wildcard policy slot, which is great. Militaristic would be interesting, but I don't really care that much. We'll just go cultural. The homies are already retreating. Now, we just have to make it to the age transition. We don't actually got to beat them in any reasonable way. If we get to the age transition, they are absolutely hoops. So let's make sure we're getting all this experience. So we just got to beat them back until then. We don't actually need to win a war here. We just got to hold them off long enough that they become less interested. Which at this rate is going to be pretty easy to do when we're hitting all their units with our horse strat. If we can take Roma before this age ends, I will feel so freaking smug. Are you really going to attack this city right now? That's really how you're going to spend your time? All right. I mean, get wrecked, fool. It's another milestone on the economic progress, which is good. Now we're at 94%. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's possible that if we got these 2 treasure fleet resources, we would have got the next milestone. I'm not sure exactly, but it's possible. It's possible we might have been able to. All right, that's another settlement limit. That one is reserved exclusively for Roma if we can get there in time. I doubt it though. We only have, even if nothing else triggers, we only have 11 turns left. Just a quick update that I'm still furious this town cannot send its food anywhere. I just wanted to update you all. I think this war at the end of the day would have been a good thing because we would have needed to build a couple of units, some more commanders, whatnot anyway, just to make sure we were carrying enough into the next age. So it's probably somewhere we would have got to, just like at the end of last one. So I think this might end up working in our favor anyway, especially if it weakens Homie's position over here and we're able to take Rome. That just feels like something that's worth it for us. All right, now, do they have enough juice? Do they have enough juice to kill this arquebusier? Because if they do, they might actually take Batavium. This might be a good blitz for them at the end. All right, we're going to take down all the army commanders in Parsa. They will fall. We will go and we will pillage. How many? You have 2 sets of walls in here. Plus, if there's like a Dur Shuriken, we gotta be careful. Some wonders in this game act as walls, so you just gotta kind of look around to make sure that you know. But that's okay. It seems like we're going to be able to make a move on Parsa here. I'll make a Parsa for Patavium trade if I have to. Going to add some more support here just to weaken him a little bit for when he tries to attack Patavium. He might end up backing off. We'll have to see. Hey, Guilin is safe, which is awesome. It's too bad Pachacuti's mad with us too. Getting an alliance with him and dragging him into this war might have been a good idea. All right, this might be the moment. Did we get outplayed? Come on. The arquebusier survived! We did it! Oh, we defended. That was close, though. What this is a good example of, though, for the purposes of a tutorial, is it's good to not get discouraged. Like, good things are going to happen in the game of Civ. Bad things are going to happen. We took our eye off the ball for a minute. We left Batavium undefended. We almost lost it. But we recovered. We got the Forbidden City as well. Things are good. Now I'm going to take the production on specialists. It's just 50 flat influence. It's awful for us comparatively. If I move you here, can I move you in? Yes. Now I got another full health unit. I don't want to attack one of these because then he'll move out of the capital and or out of the city and just leave it open for the taking. So we don't want to do that. So you can fortify in here and feel pretty good. We made it. We made it, everyone. Good stuff. We got our fleet commander coming in, so I'm going to unload my galleon and start taking shots at Roma next turn. A couple of galleons are kind of in the midst, coming in the back. I'm interested in this tile just because I want a cool-looking Ming wall. Oh, but it's not going to connect on the angle, is it? Oh, that stinks. Oh, well. Still a good tile. We'll take it anyway. 759 culture. We're going to get one more settlement limit here, which is fine. If we don't settle it, we'll at least carry it over. And I believe that's all the available settlement limit. Yeah, the rest is Relic. So, I mean, building Notre Dame would have been nice, but we got all the available settlement limit, which is what we wanted. Look how cheap these buildings are with that extra gold now. Oh my goodness. This is insane. I gotta keep the Paradisa there. Yeah, we can just smash down a guild hall for next to nothing. Oh my god. This is amazing. Let's build a medieval bridge. Nah, I don't want to kick the fishing boat out. Never mind. I mean, I'll build a bazaar here. I'll get some extra gold. Why not? Yeah, we can start a new district over here. That's fine. In any case, I'm also going to purchase a bombard here because a siege unit to kind of take down these walls quickly might be nice if we only have 9 turns minimum left. Or 9 turns maximum, sorry. That's 9 turns maximum. I kind of just want him to have no will to fight ever again. I want him to feel like this was the biggest waste of time in his entire life and that he regrets all of his choices. We can take, you know, shots at the city district here. We're going to need a bombard if we want to do this quickly. Can I double bombard? Oh, yeah, I can buy another bombard. Hell yeah. There we go. All right, the next obvious spot for this settlement limit to be used is in this desert area over here. Just another really good town option that can be used to kind of give food to Beiping in the next stage. So once we have enough gold, we're going to buy another settler in Beiping and kind of move it down here. Do we have enough gold now? We do! Huzzah! Another settler. We're coming down here. If I can squeeze in a future Civic for an extra policy card, that'd be great. I'm not going to have time to build any of the unlockable wonders. Let's just chip away at Parsa. Oh, you're getting killed by the boats, hey? Can you pillage for health? You sure can. That's really funny. That's okay. Yeah, we're just chipping away. You know, it'd be easier, actually, if I did this, because that would make it more powerful. There we go. And is that another promotion? Oh, hell yeah, brother. Because now we're going to come here. Infantry and cavalry within the command radius have the first strike ability, +5 combat strength when at full health. Not applicable this second, but once you get down to the end of a tree, you get a commendation. There are a lot of good ones, but the one I want to take here is the +5 combat strength. It's just going to give combat strength to all the units within the radius of the commander. All right, Roma, you asked for it, buddy. It's doing less damage than I thought it would, but that's okay. You still asked for it, buddy. We have a new problem in that a barbarian from I don't even know where is trying to take Kai Feng now. That would be annoying. All right, so our homie Friedrich wants to make peace. I would normally reject and I would normally reject and try and take Roma, but we don't have enough time left in the age. There's only 7 turns left, and it's not going very quickly. So we'll pack up our fleet commander and kind of be on our way. Up here, though, no such kindness is being observed because I think we can take Parsa in the next 7 turns. I'm going to buy a galleon. I can't even afford a galleon. Never mind. I was going to buy a galleon here to start shooting people. But alas, it is not for me. Well, I've moved the commander here to try and give the homie some more combat strength, but I think the boats are going to kill him. Maybe Parsa is a bit of a leap. What would he want for peace? Was there another city I'd want? I would take Hagmatana or Karakoram. I'll take either. He'll accept flat peace, but not one for a city. We haven't damaged him enough yet, which is probably a good play from him, but we'll hold out another turn and see how we're doing. All of these Lancers can make their way back up now, though they got nothing to do. I mean, we now have a bombard in range of Parsa, so that's going to go much quicker. We got 2 tiles of walls to take out, but it's not going to take us long to do that. Uh-oh, 2 more crisis policy cards. Banaka, all missionaries in your territory gain a movement. That's also, I don't care. And then 4 happiness in all settlements following your religion again. All good, homie. I think they underestimated or overestimated how into religion I was going to be when they made that. Oh, VanBradley's going to have a happiness crisis with all the religion stuff. And then it turns out he's just going to ignore it. The boats attacked, but no one died. Oh, this city's taking a shellacking. I think we might get Parsa. Oh, yeah. Now we just got to kill homie over here, like the dude in the city. All right, these are the defenses down, yeah. So we need both tiles of defenses down. Can I search for fortifications with this search mod? No, you can't. Oh, that's okay. I can search for walls, though. He's got 2 in every city, but only 2 here. So unless there's a sneaky wonder hanging around, I think this will be it. So now we just need to kill the unit inside of it. Shouldn't be too hard. All right. Now we literally just have to occupy this tile next turn, which we got. We got this. We got this, everybody. There's nothing they can do. We're taking Parsa. If he was a smarty pants, he'd give up now and just offer me Parsa, and then we can call it a day and less of his homies would have to die, but I don't think he's a smarty pants. Just to rub it in, I'm going to build the medieval walls in this city. Just to really rub it in there. I'm going to sacrifice this Lancer for the greater good. I also want this settler to settle somewhere because our settlement limit goes up over the age transition. So the amount of time we'd be over is not enough to be concerning. So maybe if we can, where can we make it to? There's not a lot of places we can make it to here. The settler, I would have settled it. I was planning on it, but he was dying over here. So I had no choice but to kind of bring him in here to hang out. And now we're running out of time. At most 6 turns. So I can travel at most 5. 5 will get me to here. Yeah, this all feels a little close. Maybe just like a poopy town in here will be fine. I suppose maybe just saving the settlement limit for the next age isn't the worst thing ever. But it feels like kind of a waste to have a settler and not settle him. I can trade with Roma again. How fun. That was a lot of our wonder-building marble. All right, he wants to make peace for a worse city than Parsa, but I'm going to reject that because we're about to take Parsa. I was going to do it for a city that wasn't Parsa. I guess he moved his capital to Karakoram. But we like Parsa. Parsa's a good city. We are not grumpy about Parsa. Oh, bombard shot. We are not grumpy about Parsa at all. This is a good take for us. And then we'll just walk on in. Is that it? Have 3 army commanders. There we go. So our army commander must have respawned. Or we improved 3-Nighter. One of those things happened. But we've taken Parsa. So you take a city by capturing all the defendable districts within it. We've done that. We are going to keep Parsa over into the next age, which is awesome. And that's a victory for us. So now we can make peace. We have nothing else to do in this war. And that's perfect. Cheers, homie. Thanks, Xerxes, for declaring this war. It worked out in our favor after all. Uh-oh, we got some disgruntled eunuchs. I mean, if I was a eunuch, I'd be pretty mad. Plus 125 happiness towards the celebration, but minus gold. Oh, minus happiness towards the celebration. The age is almost over anyway. All right, now we're going to go around and spend our gold everywhere. Wherever we can spend gold, we shall. That's a lie. Unless I need to, I'd almost rather save it. I mean, 156 for 5 culture is good. I would rather save it and carry. We have enough that this will carry over into the next age. And starting with the modern age, being able to buy a bunch of grocers would be so nice. I'm going to settle right here just to take up the space. I'm not stressed one way. Ooh, yeah, we'll go this way. I'm not stressed one way or another about what this city does for me resource-wise. I'm just trying to collect all these farms, send the food to Beiping, and that'll be that. We got another scientific attribute point, so you best believe we're going 6 times into 5% science repeatable. There is the future Civic. That is a wild card policy spot, and this will be the last turn of the age that ticked up the age score to the end. So we have another wild card spot. You best believe I'm going 5% science repeatable, baby. Now that we're in the last turn, let's take a look at what our objectives were. Our objectives were to continue to expand, continue to have a good base of operations. We managed a couple of good distant land setups here, although we didn't really thrive in the distant land. That wasn't really made for us this game. However, if Hangzhou had connected to anything, we would have had a much better time. But I digress. What we did do a really good job of scaling the yields exactly as we wanted. We are a civ and a leader that has good science and good culture abilities. We planned our adjacencies well with wonders. We picked buildings that were good for us. We used our specialist abilities and kind of maximized those to the best of our ability. And now we have 800 science per turn, 800 culture per turn. Both of those will be decreased going into the modern age because a lot of our buildings will kind of revert back to just their base bonus instead of their adjacency. But you know what? We are going to start the modern age well ahead of the AI, and that's exactly where we want it to be. Because once we get into the next age, then it's the victory conditions. Then we need to hammer down, and if you start the modern age ahead, it's going to be a much easier time to do that. So I think this was a very successful exploration age for us. Who will carry our legacy? We're also going to have to choose our civilization. The exploration age comes to an end. What a fun and exciting time that was. It took a little bit of learning there. You know, I put so many hours into this game and you're still learning so much, but that worked out well for us. We have so many options. Only America, Meiji, Japan, and Buganda are unavailable for us. So I'm going to take a look through and we're going to pick one. Xing is the geographic choice, and I am interested in taking the geographic choice, but we're about trying to find what's best for winning this game in a tutorial video. 4 gold, 3 culture, 2 influence, but -1 science from imported resources. Overall, I think this is really good. I think this is a great ability for us. I think it does go against the science hoarding we're doing at the moment, but that's really good. Why is there a unit moaning? Did y'all hear that? What on earth? That was so funny. Oh my goodness. 25% influence in our unique quarter. So for about the back half of the game here, or the back half of this age, we're going to have quite a lot of influence, and influence costs are higher in the modern age, so that's not so bad. And then we have a science and gold unique building. I don't mind that. That feels pretty good, but let me take a look around. Mughal is just really funny. We're not going to take it for this game, but 75% gold and -25% to everything else is really, really funny. Prussia is a very combat-focused civ, which I wouldn't mind taking, but combat-focused specifically does not really feel like our vibe this game. Part of what's great about this, though, is you can really pivot your strategies. You can really look at, okay, we have a good base of science. We are going to be able to unlock really good units. Now we can translate that into Prussia and go for kind of a domination victory with all that extra science and our unique units. So that might be a good strategy for us, actually. I think what I'm going to do is take Russia, though. 1 culture on districts in cities. That's going to be great. We have a lot of districts in our cities. 1 science on districts and cities in tundra. We needed to have enough tundra settlements to even unlock Russia anyway, so that should be good for us. And it fits the theme of what we've been going with so far. Production towards constructing the Hermitage is nice. A unique cavalry unit's really good. Rocket launchers. 2 food from adjacent farms. 2 culture and tundra. I just think this is a really fun and easy to use civilization for us to go for in the next age. So we'll go with Russia. And there we are. We are here in the modern age, which is incredible. We're just going to have such a good time in this modern age. I hope you enjoyed this video. That exploration age was absolutely wild. But if you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are ready to go. And I can show you and guide you through the modern age, because now we have our victory conditions. Each one of these 4 is going to lead us to a victory condition, and we're going to have to pick one to go down and get to the end. Thank you so much for watching. My name, of course, is VanBradley, and I will see you in the next one.